welcome back to this week's episode of Mint Out of the Box. I'm your host, the Godfather of Toys, the J-Bomb. It seems like I'm doing this every episode. I apologize for the lag in shows. There was a legitimate reason this time. For both producer Steph and I have had some health issues we had to deal with. I am getting older, as you can tell. And my body is breaking down pretty quick, so I had to deal with some unexpected stuff. And I'm going to be 100% honest, it was not good. And there was a good chance this could have been the memorial episode of Mint Out of the Box.
Negative.
But we caught everything. I'm good now.
Are ya?
These injections. But more importantly for me, producer Steph is okay and back behind the camera where she belongs for the first time clothed. It's weird. I stand corrected. But I am super excited. As you know, a lot of the show revolves around Todd McFarlane toys, and as you can see in front of me with the logos, this is a McFarlane. This, as you can tell, and I'm sure if you saw the title of the show, it's the Batman 1989 Batmobile gold label with the Batman figure. They made this thing almost impossible unless you had fingers, a lot of time in your hands and fingers like the Flash to get it. I did not get it when it was initially offered. Both times it was offered, I didn't get it. But luckily I met a gentleman on OfferUp, as I do. Met him in the middle of the night when I should have been in bed.
As you do.
And he supplied me with two of these, so thank you so much. We had a great conversation. I told you I sent you a link to this. Thank you so much for doing this, because he sold me two of them. I paid more than they originally sold for, but this guy could have charged me an arm and a leg, and I probably would have paid it because I want this so bad, but he didn't. And I'm all for everyone making a little bit of something. As you know, I usually don't, but I can appreciate people that do, because their time and their effort is worth something. But like I said, he could have gouged me. He didn't, and he made the show possible. So this show is dedicated to you. So as we open it up, it came double boxed. He did warn me it was double boxed, but I opened up the box for time's sake. Get the little filler here. I'll throw that over. And you can already just see its gloriousness. You can see it in all its Batman 89 glory. And before we get going, I always like to provide a little context. Summer 1989.
Don't remember it much, to be honest.
I was a boy of 14.
That's 5.
Just finished my freshman year in high school, and the summer of 1989 was definitely the summer of Batman. You could not go anywhere without seeing this logo on shirts, carved into people's hair, in medallions around their necks. Every knockoff store, everything, it was Bat everything that summer. I remember it fondly because I've always been a huge Batman fan. Of course, the local independent channels here in California started replaying the Adam West 1966 series. So it was Bat everything. And which you gotta keep in the context for any viewers out there that weren't around during that time or were of the age where they couldn't remember. We kind of take superhero movies for granted now. I mean, last night we had nothing to do, so we went and saw Blue Beetle.
Oh God!
And I wish I would have kept nothing to do, because Blue Beetle was the absolutely worst piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my life. If I had somewhere to go, I would have walked out on it. That's how bad it was.
There were even people that walked out on it.
Yeah, it was a
small theater.
It wasn't just a bad superhero movie. It was a bad movie. It was like a running cliche about Mexicans. If I were Hispanic, I'd be pretty offended by that movie, because it was a running cliche. Apparently Mexicans love tacos, because that's all they talked about in that movie was Mexicans and tacos. It was horribly stereotypical. And I'm someone that thinks that kind of humor is usually funny, but this is so bad. This was like if a 10-year-old in 1982 made a superhero movie. It was just bad. Well, anyway, what was good was Batman was the first major superhero summer blockbuster made probably since, I mean, the hype around the very first Superman, then you had Superman 2, which was really, really good, 3, which was awful, 4, which was terrible. After that, there was really no superhero movies. So Batman was the first big blockbuster superhero movie after, you know, the Superman in 1978. Whew, long time ago. But, and then the announcement of Jack Nicholson as the Joker got everyone very excited. The announcement of Michael Keaton as Batman did not garner the same excitement. It was kind of like last year when Robert Pattinson was announced as Batman for the new Batman movie, and that's why I was the one saying I'm gonna give him a shot, because Michael Keaton did an absolute fantastic job as Batman. So much that they brought him back in the new Flash movie this year, which was one of the only things that made the Flash movie worthwhile. So I will use the handy dandy Batman knife to make a slit here. I got the Batmobile from the Flash, this same Batmobile from the Flash movie, and I got it out there, but I could only find one. I didn't want to open it up, even though this is mint out of the box. So let me hit this one more time. Boom. So we opened it up with your bad two thumbs. I mean, this box is gorgeous. I'm gonna hold on to this box and display it. I think this is the first big vehicle that I've ever opened from McFarlane, so I'm pretty excited. I just killed something on the shelf. So, looks like you got Batman stuck to the chassis here. I'm not going to fool around trying to slide this off. So I'm going to kind of tear it. Make sure there's nothing else attached that I need. The other piece of filler. I will slice the bag. It looks like I might have some assembly required. Looks like it has a slides open. It's like it does in the movie. No pop-up machine guns, looks like. Got the fins. And what you know, the director's out of the office as I dropped that on the floor.
The director has re-entered the building.
Then we have a policy against personal phone calls during the show.
Not when it relates to your medical emergency, sir.
Really?
Yes.
Told you guys it was pretty bad.
I have now done the pharmacy's job for them. Much like you spent today doing other people's jobs, me as well. That is so... Oh, we should have brought your Lego out.
Yeah. What kind of got me in the mood to hunt this down, besides it just popping up on OfferUp, I got bored and I attempted a Lego set.
You did good.
And I did this Batmobile, so I've done pretty much every Batmobile that they've offered on Lego so far. Fairly easy.
It's nice.
It's very nice. Very basic. Meaning they could, like I said, they could have did the pop-up guns or something like that. A lot better than the '89 Batmobile, which I have right over there. I can actually see it. Second one from the left. So I still have that from 1989. It just had this windshield, no roof. Then they made a second one, which I ended up getting rid of, and I regret it. It was a lot smaller, but it had pop-up machine guns. It was really bad. I really liked it. I regret getting rid of it. I think that's the only Batmobile I've ever gotten rid of. But I have every other one that's ever been made over there. So now I'll add this to it. And here is what I was told makes this worth the money. No trading card. Here we go with the Michael Keaton Batman figure. And I'll have producer Steph take some close-ups. It's even got the boot guards. The cape kind of spreads out, much like in the movie. And if you look really close, you can see how it had that weird, the bat had that weird little tail on it for this movie only, because they corrected it in the second version. And this, I ain't gonna lie, this figure is fire. Ain't that what the young kids are saying?
No, they're not.
And with one slide. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. You too could recreate Batman on your kitchen floor like I did back in '89 when I was too old to be playing with toys. I was still doing it in secret.
Is it really a secret?
I was a lover and a toy collector. Kind of like now. That's how I was able to land Foxy producer Steph. Remember, she was just Steph when I met her. I made her producer. So,
On that note.
on that note, we will end this week's amazing episode. Thank you to my new friend OfferUp for making this possible. I'd already resigned myself to the fact I wasn't going to get this unless I paid like an arm, and a leg. I think I only paid maybe a little pinky. So it's definitely worth it. This, like I said, this is awesome. It's going to look great when I finally have my new setup. It almost got away from me. So, again, if you guys can track them down, man, these are awesome. So, again, McFarlane, home run on the offer. Stop with all the peg warming stuff and make this kind of stuff that we all want available to us, so we don't have to meet strange men in the... I'm not saying he's strange, but he's a stranger to me. I shouldn't be meeting strangers in the middle of the night at a Carl's Jr. parking lot.
When you should be asleep.
When I should be asleep. Make it easier. Make the stuff McFarlane that we all want, like this, because everyone wanted this. And maybe less of the John Kents. Just saying. With that, thank you for joining us this week, and I'm very grateful to be here. I'm glad I'm past the health scare. I'm very glad that producer Steph has passed hers, because not only could I not do this show without her, because it would it would look a lot different if I had to film this on my own. My life would look a lot different without her, and it wouldn't even be worth doing this show without her. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your well wishes, and have a good one. I'll see you next week.
Bye. You're so cute. You want to go play with the Batman on the floor?